Hello, good morning world. Maria Vanga here. Maria Vanga here, motivational speaker, inspirational author, psychotherapist, lawyer, mother, la 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 la. Anyway, motivational speaker is enough for this morning. Saturday, and I love doing general inspiration, motivation, and encouragement. So that's what I'm going to be talking about this morning, and my topic is appreciate every bit of life. Appreciation. I love it. I have an attitude of gratitude. It didn't start today. That's just that has been me, and I spent some time of my adult life being so bitter and so angry even at myself, so frustrated, so depressed to the point of attempting suicide. And I'm having a second chance at life, and I call each of my years since that 2009 my bonus years, my bonus time, and I want to make the most of it. So yeah, people say I'm a self-care queen, all of that. It's like self-care should be something we should be ashamed of doing. No, self-care is not selfish. There's nothing wrong in being appreciative of life, of your own life, and of doing things that show how appreciative you are, how grateful you are, and all of those kind of things. So that's what I want to talk about today. And as usual, I use my personal experiences. There's always something coming up in my life I can use as a teaching moment, or as a sharing moment, as a give back moment, all of that. We sometimes think we should only appreciate when extraordinary things happen to us, big things, wonderful things, spectacular things. No, we should just appreciate the fact that we are alive. People are dying every day. I heard of one death that was like, for heaven's sake, so unwarranted, so uncalled for. But if you start talking about some kind of things that people who are going to come after you, and I don't want that. It's part of selecting what you are looking at, what's your focus, and all of that. Yeah, you learn from everything, but you choose what you are going forward with, and all of that. So I said the first thing is we should just appreciate the fact that we are alive. That is it. Just appreciate the fact that you woke up today. Appreciate the fact that you are in good health. Even appreciate the fact that even if you're not in good health, you have a source of treatment, or you even have people who care, who can help you out. There is always something to appreciate in life. Always. Some people have been in the heart of the crisis in the Anglophone region, and they have lived in that same place all those years. People have died all around them. They are still alive. That's something. Or you have moved and you are not like some people have moved. They don't even know where to sleep. There is always something we can find to appreciate in life. Always. No matter how small. I just came to some place. I came to Limbe. One of my moms said, "No, you can come. The house is there." And then she brings me a towel and a soap and a toothbrush. And I'm like, at what age should I still be pampered that way? But I was like, just appreciate it, because maybe it's not every day she's having a child, a visitor, to show that it is in her. So don't spoil it for her. Appreciate, take it, be grateful, and then use those things. And then when you're going, so it's like, I was so touched. I went and had breakfast, and I wanted to wash my plate. Like every child, and she said no, she washes her dishes, and I'm like, oh, don't spoil her moment. I cannot argue with you. So I just left them there, and I came up. At least I know that I offered to, and I have no problem washing. I swept. So like, I just appreciate it. Actually asking if I could even come to the house. My plan was not even to come, was to just go and check me in some place in the garden, because I really wanted to spend this day in the garden. But then I just asked her even if I could just stop by to greet her. I was like, okay, well, appreciate the offer and accept that offer and come. Social distance, I beg. Your father's house is, you come, and then you stay there and just be in the same space with her. She probably doesn't have people coming in every other day. So appreciate it. You know, one day we will all go, and then you'll be like, well, I wish that last time when I stopped by Limbe, I had even gone to the house. Maybe I should have spent the night, all of those kind of things and stuff like that. Appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate because it is not by my might or power. No, not by might, not by power, but by the Spirit, says the Lord of hosts. It's not by might. What kind of power do I have? What kind of might? What can I lift? What kind of power? What about me? I mean, seriously, if people carry me in their hearts, I don't even know those people. But I'm not carry hard part material. I don't beat people. I don't get into people's business and drag them around the place and spend my time, chit-chatting about people, knowing what's happening in people's life, especially the negative stuff or the difficult stuff, so you can use it to, like I was just reading something on Facebook. Somebody was saying how they were working somewhere and they were promoted, and then another colleague went and backstabbed them, and then they were demoted. And then now this colleague has had their payback because, well, they realize who they are, and they have not only been demoted, but they have been dismissed. They have lost their job. What kind of life is that? Sabotaging people. How does that take you forward? Is that how you are appreciating life? God gives you life and you spend it sabotaging people? Another big sister said she was poisoned by someone. I'm like, how do people even start to have that kind of venom? What you are actually doing is showing God that you are just a waste. He just made a big mistake creating you and leaving you here. Well, maybe he's using you to actually teach people lesson that some people with so much envy and bitterness around, you better be careful as you go along. So maybe you should just be grateful that, well, you learn those lessons from those people. I mean, I've learned a lot of lessons too in my life, and I'm like, today I appreciate all of that. I appreciate the 6 years I spent in that abusive relationship. And as another sister was sharing her experience on Wednesday, I appreciated her because she was honest in saying she too abused the man. She fought. Sometimes you can be pushed to become abusive. That's how I was. And she beat the man on the back. She said it. I mean, it's like, no, it's not like when we talked like we were victims of abuse, we never did anything too. Of course, sometimes you want to defend yourself, and before you realize it, you are saying things, you are going out too, you are being unfaithful. I was unfaithful, not once, but 6 times, yes, and stuff like that. My mouth, you say one, I'm saying 1,000. I mean, today I can still talk. Imagine back then I could. I don't even know what has happened to my voice. It has reduced and everything. Hey, I could lift up the roof from my house and fling it away just with my words. So yeah, but I appreciate what I learned through that period. You cannot subdue a man. A man cannot subdue you. You people have to understand each other, and dialogue is not the way out. But I had to go through that process to learn it. And as much as it was a very difficult one for me, and one I have I have really forgiven myself for my own behavior in all of that, and what I put my kids through and my family through, all that embarrassment and everything, including to myself. But I appreciate that. And all the lessons. And that's why I say, when you meet angels on your path, show all the appreciation you can. Some people say they cannot even count, that they can count by their fingers how many angels they have met on their path. I have met so many in Cameroon, in Nigeria. I went to Nigeria in January. These were people I have never met apart from online. One of them, my mom, I did not even know who she was like I know now. She came to pick me up at the airport. For what? Beat all of that traffic in Lagos. If you go to Lagos, you will know the kind of traffic there is in Lagos. The kind that you can get out of the cab and walk on foot. Because no. You are wasting your time sitting in that car or in that cab or in that Okada or everything. She beat it. It was in the morning. I got there maybe at around midday or something like that. Beat all of that traffic, came and picked me up from the airport. Beat all of that traffic and went and left me where I was going to. I wish I had like 2 weeks to stay in that Lagos. So I appreciate. And not only that, she came again to where we went to, like over the river, and then brought me a fabric. You know, I made a special jacket with that fabric. I call it my Joseph jacket. It's like it is for super special occasion. I appreciate. I don't miss one occasion to show my appreciation to these angels on my part and to say I am grateful. And the impact, sometimes it's there psychologically. You stay with it and you keep all of that so close to you, so that even when you're going through, you know, difficult times, all of that, those memories, you know, all those smiles, all the words, all the actions, you stay with those ones. So appreciate. Yes, and even when you meet teachers of life, you know, people who are teaching you sometimes some lessons you would not have wanted to learn, like my ex. So, you know, I don't even have many of them. To be very honest, I don't have many of those teachers who taught me lessons I did not want to learn. And then, even if you don't want to learn those lessons, please take your notes. Remove bitterness from that experience. Look at the notes. Let me tell you a very personal example. I once met somebody. And we had a fling of a relationship. I was in the university. That was like over 2 decades ago. And it ended very abruptly. It was, I don't know, I didn't do nothing, but it would appear the person was entangled and there was a squabble or something. And I just took myself out of the situation. I have talked about it before. And so I left and went away. I thought about it a little bit. I was kind of angry that this person, who did they think they are and stuff. And then I just said, well, everybody their life. Nobody forced me into the situation. So who did I also think I was? And we meet again several years later. And everybody is in their lane, right? I'm who I am. Nobody can make me feel any less than and everything. And so we collaborate. We work on some projects together. And it's also respectful. And of course, it comes again and we're like, wow, life is so funny. And we meet again. And I'm like, yeah, well, but I don't have any ill feelings towards you. I'm actually grateful. There is something very important they taught me. It is not somebody's responsibility to make you happy. It is not by bragging you are going out with so and so that is going to make you fulfilled in life. That lesson stuck with me. And even though I got married and thought by being a Mrs. was all there was to life, and it did not stick, I remember that first lesson and I was like, no, Mark, you are not the Mrs. title, and you are not the person you are hanging on their shoulder or going out with and all of that. No, you are who you are. And so find that fulfillment in yourself and appreciate the lessons these people are teaching you. Sometimes when people reject you, it is so that you can go and find fulfillment in yourself, fullness in yourself. And in God who made you in his image and likeness, you are more than enough with God's love and God's acceptance, God's everything. Stop chasing shadows, thinking that, oh, if people don't validate you, then I learned it. And another thing this person taught me was service. That is where your joy will come from. Serving other service. And I appreciate that lesson. I appreciate it because today that is what I am doing. With Hope for the Abused and Battered, with Maria Baga Global, with my books, as a psychotherapist, as a lawyer, all of that, I'm serving humanity. And that is the greatest thing. Like, what else am I doing on earth if I cannot serve people with everything? And what am I using to serve people? All my experiences. And where did I start learning all of those things? Seriously, university time taught me a lot. Childhood too taught me a lot. In short, every stage of my life, I have learned lessons. And so I appreciate those teachers, even if they were teaching me at the time and I was not happy to be learning, I did take notes. Sometimes I'm like, God, thank you for my brain, because I have things from 2 years, 1 year, all kind of times, things in my head, and I'm like, yeah, you can go back now and look at those things and appreciate those lessons. Okay, so yeah, future learning and implementation. So just appreciate, forgive, and do your best to forget, and then move on with gratitude. It's very important. What you put out into the world is what comes back to you. Look at, I'm like, I'm very serious. I don't even have one person I can say I can call today, or I can write to today, and then there will be some bitterness, there will be all of this. I don't have no bitterness in my heart for nobody. No bitterness, even for the man of God who was trolling me, stalking me, and harassing me, saying I'm the melody of his heart. I'm like, well, it's flattering to know you are the melody of somebody's heart, but I don't want to be the melody of your heart. So I'm blocking you for a while. Take your time, find your joy, your peace, and your serenity. Find someone else. Maybe if you really need somebody to be the melody of your heart, that wouldn't be me. But well, I know I'm going to meet them again someday, and I think they will have learned whatever they're also learning from that episode. I have also learned what I have learned from that episode. So that is it. So I'm in Limbe for an overnight self-care retreat day, and I really appreciate the hosting, my mom and everything. And although my intention was to just come, drop my bag, go and spend the day in the garden and in the zoo and everything, I'm just so happy to be here. And there's a parrot downstairs. I don't think I saw the parrot the last time I was here. I love birds, I love animals, and so before going to the zoo and to the garden, I just wanted to sit here and do this live video. I'll go to the zoo, go to the garden, sit somewhere and eat some roasted fish, go by the sea, just sit there and everything, just do some reflections and everything, come back at about 4 and rest a little bit, because at 6 or 6, 7, I will be on a webinar talking about COVID-19 and domestic violence. And each time I talk domestic violence, I just think about myself too. But it's going to be aired next week. So it's organized by the Pacha Foundation. I have a very personal bonding affiliation to the Pacha family. Late Mama Pacha was a grandmother, was a mother. No, not a mother to me. She was a grandma. She was a mother to my mom, right? And she was a mother to so many people and a grandmother to so many people. That is how I have family all over the world. Like, I'm just blessed. I'm so blessed, and I appreciate it all. So of course, if they invite me to come and talk, why not, right? How else can I say thank you to Mama for who she was, to my mom, to me, and her daughters and everything. And talking domestic violence is just what I want to talk. So anybody going through something like that can, while looking at the way forward, think of what they can do with the lessons they learned in that moment. On Wednesday on the Goreti Experience, her guest, Zega Aben, she was talking using her own experience and saying this is what she's doing with it today. She's no more bitter about it and cursing this ex and bashing the whole episode and everything. No, she's appreciating it, taking the lessons and then putting it out there so people can learn from her own experience, can be inspired, can be motivated, can be encouraged. That's what appreciation is all about. Not just keeping the lessons to ourselves, but releasing those lessons to the universe and saying, Father, well, thank you. I went through that and I came out alive. Some people go through such things that they don't make it. Some are in recovery for years and years. You come out alive with your limbs. You even have your children with you now. And I'm just so grateful. So yeah, everybody, let me go out now, and I have my day out. Abroad in Europe, people just go out and walk the whole day. visit new cities, go to beaches everywhere and stuff. Well, Corona has made it kind of difficult. So, well, those of us who can afford to come to Limbe, let's come to Limbe. If you can go to Kribi, go to Kribi. If you cannot go even in your house, you can have a day out in your room. You can have a day out. I've had a day out in my room. I didn't even go out to the parlor. So it is possible, whichever way. And just being grateful to be with yourself and to not be, crazy, wanting to just be with people. There are times when you need time with yourself. I'm in Limbe. I could call anybody and go and see people and just be talking and stuff. No, I just want to be with myself today, with the birds, with the plants, with the water, with the fish. Come back and just be me in my corner. Tomorrow, get up, take my time, and then leave here by 2, go back home. And that will have been so much rejuvenation. And I like this mama in particular because she's also somebody who likes her space, who likes her environment, her aura. It's not so. That's what I wanted to share with the world today. If anybody wants to contact me, because I'm a psychotherapist, people do, and I'm specialized in mental health and emotional wellness. Well, my website is mariabanga.com, and if you have me on Facebook, you can inbox me. If you have me on WhatsApp, even on my page, you go to my page, you can send me a WhatsApp directly. If you go to my website, you can also send me a WhatsApp directly. Okay, everybody, this is inspiration, motivation, encouragement. My mantra for the month is accept it all with love, do it all with love. Until next Saturday, by grace, for another dose of inspiration, motivation, and encouragement, if possible, right? God bless us all. Have a wonderful Saturday, everybody.